Hello and welcome to this week's movie review, where I'll be talking about the 2023 movie Leave the World Behind, directed by Sam Esmail, starring Ethan Hawke, Julia Roberts, Mahershala Ali. It is actually based on the 2020 novel of the same name, as well as executively produced by former President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama, which I thought was really interesting. But yeah, initial thoughts on the movie. I had seen this last month with my good friends Eric and Elizabeth. Shout out to them. But yeah, I knew nothing of this movie going into it. Once I saw the name Sam Esmail, I recognized him from, of course, Mr. Robot, which I loved, which I haven't finished actually, because like the idea of like such a great show ending has like, I don't know, it's just killed me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like if I lose that one, I'm not gonna have any other good shows, even though it ended like 3 or 4 years ago at this point. But yeah, I recognize Sam Esmail. I didn't see any trailer for this. I didn't see anything about it. I just saw it on Netflix, just like the rest of you guys. And I feel like every so often Netflix releases these movies that get the social media people buzzing, I guess. You know, people on social media kind of buzz about the movie. Even with the first initial one, Beast of No Nation, which I really enjoyed. I feel like every so often Netflix has these big movies that like just get people talking. A couple years ago, Bird Box, was it? You know what I'm saying? Where everyone's just like, oh, what would you do in this situation? Not so much as Beast of No Nation, but a Bird Box and stuff like that. And I know they had the Killer release, I think, in the month before this, as well as the one with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling, directed by the Russo brothers, Gray Man. I believe was also a Netflix movie. So, you know, they, like I said, Netflix usually is, for me, hit or miss, honestly. Most of the time hits, I believe, but ever so often they do have misses. This one, however, I did think was more thought-provoking than anything else. Than me just giving the straightforward, I disliked this movie, I enjoyed this movie. I think overall my review is probably going to be more positive than negative, but this movie did leave me wanting a bit more, which, depending on how you take it, could be a good or bad thing. Some people could see it as, oh, like it left me feeling not empty, but, you know, it left me wanting, you know, it let me down or disappointed. I don't know if I felt disappointed by the end of the movie, but I definitely felt wanting. And other people could take it as, oh, you know, I wonder if there's going to be a part 2. I wonder if there's going to be a sequel. I have no idea if there's a sequel to the book. So as far as I know, there's just this one. So I'm not sure if there ever will be a part 2, but it definitely left me wanting more, and it definitely left me interested, especially towards the end of it. As far as what could the overall situation that our characters face, what could that be in actuality? As mentioned earlier, the film stars Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke as a married couple who decide to take their family on vacation after Julia Roberts' character Amanda realizes that she does not enjoy the company of other people. So as they're on vacation, they see something strange happen on the beach, return home later that night when they are faced with Mahershala Ali and his daughter, who I want to pronounce her name, the actress's name, but I don't want to butcher it. So I'm going to try. And hopefully, if you're watching this, God forbid, I did, you know, you a disservice. Myha'la as Ruth, I believe is her name. Hopefully I got that correct. They show up to the Airbnb and are like, hey, this is our house. So such and such has happened. The power is out over here. There's no signal wherever we were. So we decided to head back home. And Amanda and Clay are faced with these two people at their doorstep. And of course, the story starts to unfold as to if these people actually own this house. Who are they? What is going on? Why are these strange things happening? I want to leave it there because, like I said earlier, I do think it's a very thought-provoking movie, and it does put the viewer in certain situations where you say, damn, what would I do in that? Or how would I behave with this? Would I be more of a Amanda type? Would I be more of a Clay type? I do also want to mention that the show Friends has like a mild part in this movie. And those who know me personally know how I feel about that show Friends, which is just, I feel like I can't escape it sometimes, honestly. Anyway, back to the movie. I really enjoyed the direction and the cinematography of the movie. And Sam Esmail has always had really solid direction and cinematography in his other projects. As far as Mr. Robot goes, I used to love the shots there. Anytime they did the opening sequence or wherever the title would pop up on the screen, those were always shot really well. And that's the case in this movie as well. Performance-wise, I thought Mahershala Ali played a really solid role at this kind of, I want to say mysterious figure, but this kind of like very subtle person. He never really loses his cool. He's kind of always trying to de-escalate the situation. Oh, yeah, Mahershala Ali's character is always trying to de-escalate any situation in terms of conflict with other characters, specifically Amanda, which is kind of pressing him like, well, how do we know you live here? How do you know this happens? He's always kind of like, well, let me prove it to you, or this is the situation. He's always very chill and very level-headed. I think Ethan Hawke does a really good job at playing Clay, who is this, who I feel like honestly would be most of us. We would be kind of like in the dark, kind of taking it day by day or even hour by hour in terms of information that's coming out as these strange events keep unfolding. I do feel like most people would be split in between Ethan Hawke's character, Julia Roberts' character, as well as Ruth's character. I think those three character types would be the general population and would be kind of split in between those three types of people. The story I thought was really interesting. Like I said, very thought-provoking. Definitely kept me wondering what is going on. Why are these things happening? Who is behind this? You know, we kind of get, I won't say red herrings, but we get kind of like, oh, well, it's this group of people or it's this other group of people. I thought the misdirection was really, really done well. I think the only thing that I had a problem with was the lack of resolution. Like I said earlier, the film left me wanting more, which honestly, funny thing enough, the last movie on Netflix that I had seen before this, The Killer, directed by David Fincher, which I did enjoy, and Michael Fassbender, starring Michael Fassbender, I really did enjoy that movie. But it also left me wanting more. And granted, they're two different stories, two different directors, two different, everything. But another Netflix movie where I think, damn, like, if I had saw this in theaters, how would I feel? And I do realize that The Killer had certain screenings going on, so you were able to watch it in theaters. But I think to myself, how would I feel? I know every movie does not need to give you that kind of resolution, but how would I feel? And granted, I thought The Killer's ending was more, resolved than this one. I feel like this would have been better as a show, to be honest with you. I think this as a series would have worked maybe a little better, honestly, just because, like I said, at the end you're kind of wanting more. You're kind of wondering, and maybe it's the same situation where like the story isn't supposed to have a resolution or the story isn't supposed to have a solid, climax. Certain movies are like that, so it could be a case of that. But me personally, I just kind of felt, it left me thinking about the topics that were discussed in the movie in terms of cyber attacks, in terms of auditory attacks. I don't even know if that's the word, but auditory attacks in terms of misdirection by other countries. Like I said, it definitely makes you think about these things. But after a couple of days, I just stopped thinking about the movie and actually had to rewatch some bits earlier today, kind of refresh myself on what exactly happened. Overall, I would say I did enjoy the movie. Like I said, it left a little bit to be desired, but I did enjoy the movie overall. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think next week, or actually this week, I'll be going to see Poor Things starring Emma Stone, which I heard is a wild movie. So I do want to see that in theaters before it's kind of out of circulation. So I'll go see that this weekend and hopefully have the review up by next week. New album review dropping this Thursday, where I'll be talking about Kali Uchis' new album. Friday, there'll be a podcast coming out as well. And I believe that does it. Let me know what you think about the movie, or let me know what you thought about the movie in the comments. What would you have done? How do you think you would handle certain situations in the movie? If it's a spoiler, add a little spoiler warning. But yeah, that'll do it for this week's movie review. Thank you guys so much. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And I will talk to you next time. Peace.